Back to back to back 100 wins, and then it ended. But we got a few wins in, which is what we kind of wanted to do. Oh, it's one of those ones. This is a limp as far as I remember. And we fold. Okay. King 2 is a beautiful ISO jamming hand if your opponent has limp folds. And our opponent does, so that's nice. Okay. They thought about it, then they checked. I'm going to check. Definitely good bet. But we also can check. And it felt like a check. Long tank. I'm going to check again. We're going to be very sneaky here. And hope our opponent has a 9 or a 4. 4 doesn't really matter, right? I think we get chips, whatever. But it's when he's got 9-2 off here. We definitely pick up some bets. Now he's triple checked. I'm going to go for a min bet. Let's see if we can get a raise from something. Use the sizing that I assume a 4x will always raise against. And gives him room to bluff maximally, we'd hope. Couldn't get any chips in. We tried our best. Okay, looking for kings or 9s or clubs. Kings or 9 or clubs. That's a good result. Ah, it's nice to... I tell you, it's lovely to win all ins, isn't it? Let's add 200 and take away 100, so we'll add 100.
I heard you limp. Every single button. What else is limp? Maybe your cock.
Okay. Welcome to the world of limp poker. Oh, it's an interesting one, huh? I like calling here with a king and Broadway combos. Bet, check. I mean, okay. We got Jack Queen drawn dead. We got Jack 10 not drawn dead. Yeah. Just want to check the timing of... Okay, we're good. We're on the other table, so that's fine. Queen 10 is there. That'd be pretty sick. Trips. Kicker no longer plays, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kicker no longer plays. So we're really looking to get value from a jack. Make sure we get value from a jack here. So I'm going to go 1.5. We have to get Jack Queen or Jack 10 to call. Otherwise, weirdly enough, it's like... Or an ace, of course, as well. But an ace is probably not in that range. Also use the sizing, which I'm confident a king... Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay. So, joy. No clue what you have. That is part of the fun. That is part of the fun. We knew exactly what they had. Didn't have a clue. Okay. Well, cool. We'll call again. Definitely worth calling again with the spade. Potentially being out for us as well. The jack, obviously. The 10, the queen. Bluff-wise, don't think this is the best bluff in that it has some showdown EV, perhaps. So against the min-raise range, very little king x raise 6 unpaired in there. So I think checking is fine with this. We still beat some combos. We'll just take out non-showdown bluffs. Yeah, perfect. We got quite lucky there. This is my prophecy is the future with some kind of lens with augmented reality plus an LLM to consult Sol's Pokeball cheat in poker. Let me say that again. My prophecy in the future is some kind of lens with augmented reality. Oh, yeah, that's definitely possible. Fortunately, I guess that's not currently possible with today's current profit. Power says you are showing that even if you don't play for a pool, you can make money even playing high stakes. Would you agree? Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. I mean, definitely you can make money. It's the money you'll make will be a lot more variable, but over the long run, it all works out the same. If you're in a pool, you will, on average, like in theory, playing 1 million games in a pool, you'll make less money than playing out the pool. If you play the same in both cases, however, you may actually play better being in the pool because you have more relaxation, right? That your EV that you make is going to be more representative of the money that you make, kind of thing. That's definitely an option. Ace 10 9, and we got a long check from our friend. Definitely don't want to use a big sizing, but probably not a jam. Small size, I might say. Ooh, 9's a worry. 9 is a worry. Maybe just betting a turn. Jack Queen is there. Jack 8 is there. 10x is there. I'll take a block. Facing a shove, not so sure. Facing a check, not so sure. We could bet check shove. We definitely do have a stronger ace-x. There's some 8x2. I'm going to go for a half pot here. Little weird kind of bet. See if we. It's tough to have a bluff there, but I don't know. If the more reggy my planish skig is, the probably worse my bet there is. But I don't know, if I'm honest. Forward says, how many hands do you want to gather more before deciding whether limping is more profitable than raising? A lot more hands. It's not really something I'm planning to do on a hand-for-hand basis. I'm more looking at the response versus limp. So I'm not even so concerned about the actual EV of the decisions. Like, if you gather 1,000 hands and make 5 more BB per 100 limping than raising, it's not that informative. What is informative, I think, over that sample would be, well, how many times did you get ISO, for example? Or, I don't want to go too much in depth with this, but over that same sample, so the more you limp, it has implications on both the limp and also your raising range. Because, how much do I want to talk about this? Let's just say you can influence both ranges, but you have an extra moving part, which it gives you a lot more adaptability as part of some of your options. And I think that's a kind of really fun thing to think about. But yeah, obviously call an ace 10, but okay, fine. Mr. Z said, not sure on Sunday I make lots of money in the pool. Just because a little, you give a bit away, right? For the tiny bit. It depends. But yeah. And that is another win. I tell you, this bankroll challenge is going well. Let's play again. I feel like if you just play spins on Twitch, you're already kind of on the podium. You know, I'm probably a top 5 spinning go Twitch streamer. And you go, oh, you've been streaming long? I just set up my account yesterday, so top 5. Yeah. Oh, I got it. Thanks, Tommy. Yeah, you're welcome. The thing is, like, I would say for nearly everybody, it's worth the 1% or whatever. Obviously, different percentages, and it depends what you're doing. If you try and join a pool with coaching, that definitely can be worth it. I think in terms of, you know, especially if you're not quite like, if you have room for growth within your game, it's like just an investment, I think, in yourself, and like pays off significantly. I think even if you just take a stake in, like, if you just have the pool in terms of like just insurance, basically, it's still probably worthwhile just in terms of consistency of income is actually worth quite a bit compared to, hey, you didn't make any money for 3 months, even though you played quite well. Nah, didn't make any money. It's like that kind of is a little bit soul crushing. And so I think I would certainly advise anybody that to either join a stable, of course, but if not, I would advise most people to join an EV pool. Here we go. Nikki's 5. I'm just a charismatic fish buddy. The 5 words are, I am just a charismatic fish buddy. 7 words, but just a charismatic fish buddy. Just a charismatic fish buddy is your 5 words. Very good, Nick. We'll ignore the 2 extra words. Huh? And we won a 3x. I tell you, we are running good today. Eagle, we played with a bunch back in the day. Both these guys are obviously very strong rigs. Choose a check here. We'll probably have a pretty balanced checking range. Betting some, checking some. I like a diamond. I like a spade. I like a backdoor straight draw. Checking looks good. I like a diamond, like a spade. That's about all we've got going for this hand. We could choose to bet. That's definitely reasonable. We could also choose to check. I'm trying to remember the last time I played with Eagle and I can't remember the answer. I'm going to choose to check this. And let's see. An ace comes on the river. Yeah, checking down seems pretty reasonable now. I think it's credible enough, valuable enough. Could we like try and fold out 6s here? Not sure. All right, 10-7-2. We have a 7. We have a backdoor straight draw. I quite like a check here because the hands that will improve our card are typically perceived not to improve that much, whereas cards that will improve our range typically are not perceived to be probed that much. That's a little silly thing that you can sometimes adopt if you're deciding whether to bet or check. We'll choose to check here. Don't see any need to bet the turn. Nice to hit a river. So, the question is, do we ever want to just jam, right? Do we get called by West if we jam here? Probably not, to be honest. I think it's just a cool spot, 1.5x. If we had ace 7, we could jam. I don't think 7-5 makes any sense to jam. And we pick up a little 5-6, which is nice. Charismatic, slightly above average. That's good as well, Nick, because you've managed to get the right number of words this time. So that's, I would say that's also an upgrade, right? Alright, we're going to limp, I think. Pretty good board for us. It's actually, like, other than unders, which I wouldn't typically bet that much, it's quite hard to have tons of air here. Checking the turn, I think it's pretty natural now. We wouldn't be perceived to bet that much Queen X with the sizing. We also wouldn't. And now Jack Spades comes. That's an interesting card. So, could try and block bet and induce a raise. Tough to know exactly when to get raised by because he hasn't got too much Queen X and I don't think it would be that much. So, small doesn't make too much sense. We could go big, but it's tough to have air as well. I think checking and actually giving him some room to turn maybe a 10x into a bluff, I hope, and not just check it down. I think a 10x is most likely holding, and I hope he doesn't just check 10-7 here. I think he checked 10-7. He hit a jack. Okay. Slightly better. Slightly better than 10-7. Could we have got value from that? Don't know. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Nick. We're going to update it with your new chosen. I like the deuce. I like the 10. Pretty nice spot for us. Spade and hearts fairly... I mean, we'd prefer to have diamonds to not overdo it. But I'm going to take it anyway. Slight issue, of course, is there's some unfoldable hands here. Which just won't think about it, but let's assume Baby Federer's got a bit of a balance range. Baby Federer, by the way, is a scoop winner. So, congrats. I also have the feeling Baby Federer used to live in Switzerland. Decent flop. Don't think donking makes sense, although definitely something to think about. Choose the bet. Now you could raise this and just get it in, although I think typically on this board, limp C bets are going to be a bit more polar. Don't know too much. 5 comes. There's a lot of 5x obviously in the range, although a lot of 5x is probably also going to be sizing up if Baby Federer chooses to use 2 sizings here. I don't actually know if that's his choice or not. Check call is obviously very reasonable. Use a 2.6. I think this strikes me as sizing that's very comfortably value orientated. But calling I think certainly seems to be the answer. Not folding, whatever. A 4 comes. We could try a donk here. So if we're right with our assumptions that 5x is more reduced, we're going broke anyway, it's 5x, so it doesn't matter. Just the rest of the range. I don't think he'll bet jam too often here when the 3x has been counterfeited. And if he's got a 5x, he wins regardless, right? Because if we check and he shoves, we call anyway. So I think donk shoving there works really well. The 6-5 makes a lot of sense in terms of the 5x he would have that isn't that incentivized to size up, I guess. I like the play. If he has 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, etc., even ace-x, and I think it's a spot where like we could have 3-6, we could have 3-7, we could have 3-2, we'd have ace-3. We could just have a 6x and maybe miss with flush draw. So I think air is in our range. And I think it's fine. I think, yeah, if we're beat, we're beat.